So right now I'm on this video by Tool Review Zone, and it's called The Home Depot, Why You Should Never Shop at the Home Depot and Why I Will Never Go Back. Now, it's funny because I'm looking at the comments, and based on the comments, um, I started to remind me of some things. And I'm going to find the first one first, and I'll explain why. Let's see. Okay, here. Where someone said, if you think Home Depot is bad, Lowe's will take you to a new low. Well, you see, I commented back and I said I used to work for Lowe's as a delivery coordinator. They screwed up so many delivery dates, and special order department issues were a whole nother story. And if anyone is wondering, as a delivery coordinator, I had no control over deliveries whatsoever. Only the manager dealing with the trucks for that day and the delivery manager themselves had control. They just used delivery coordinator as someone to have the customer call and be able to curse at over their screw ups. Real story. I used to call the third party trucking company and try to coordinate with them directly in order to fix customer delivery issues. Sometimes I would even take some of the paperwork home to call the customer back and update them. Very stressful. Things were so bad with deliveries also that even me, with a 10% employee discount, would not even dare ordering an air conditioner to get delivered to my house from them, from Lowe's. I ordered it instead from PC Richard instead. $29 delivery fee sounds a lot better than a $75 flat rate delivery fee for something that you might not even get delivered to you. You see, the thing they used to do is they tell everybody they're going to get something delivered no matter how much it costs and what it's worth or how big it is or how small it is, that everything has to be brought along with other customers' shit on a flatbed truck. They charge each customer, they used to charge them $75 flat rate fee and screw up their delivery times. They didn't give a damn. In some cases, they have the delivery person install and connect gas lines for stoves and fuck this shit up with the wrong damn fittings. And I had to call and deal with that. Okay? Very stressful job, and I had some other issue that they didn't give a flying fuck about. The human resources department was garbage. And the delivery manager over me had all the control over the tickets and stuff. It would not give me the code or whatever to use in the computer to control the deliveries, even though they were all over the store doing Lord knows fucking what. And you had the managers at the goddamn store. This is Lowe's in Brooklyn, over there by Ninth Avenue or whatever, in Brooklyn, and they would do like this. And then the managers for the day, whoever was assigned, I forget what the title they called the manager for the day, would be in the back working with the trucks and fucking up and rescheduling deliveries. They would reschedule deliveries that were due for the customer that day. They would not call the customer and give them a courtesy call at 7 in the morning to tell them that their delivery is not coming. So they have customers staying home all day for nothing. And I had to take the blame for that and get customers cursing me out. I had to try to calm them down and talk to the delivery company, the trucking company directly, which I was really not supposed to do. But I felt sorry for these customers. I never got in trouble for that. But the thing is, it was a very stressful job. And you had these managers that would be doing the screw ups, and then they would put their cordless phones on some kind of shit where you could never reach them and be busy for hours. Because they can fuck up the deliveries and then give the coordinator like me the paperwork, so I wouldn't know. They wouldn't even let me know that they rescheduled. So when the customer would call, I have to call around trying to find out from them what happened, why this customer didn't get delivered. And I got to call them for hours and hours and hours, and then call the customer back to tell them what they said. A piece of shit place. And Home Depot wasn't much better, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Now, not to say everybody there was rude at Lowe's. There were some nice people, but there were some people there that were sorry people, what I call useless people, and there were also some people that didn't like me, and you asked me if I give a damn. So the next comment here, if I'm trying to find it, I think I'm gonna have to go to my pictures. Let's see. Hold on one sec. Okay, so the next comment part talks about, you can pause this to read this, it's kind of long, but I'll read it. Basically, I forgot to say what the video was about. It's about this guy in the video talking about that he ordered some cabinets and a kitchen arrangement for Home Depot to have bring him his stuff so they can get it installed. And he had contractors and everything, and they messed up his order and kept putting it back and messed up the measurements. Bad experience. So you can go back to the title of the video if you want to click on it. It looks like this right here from Tool Review Zone. And so, right here, someone says, I would tell them I'm calling Atlanta. I think that's the headquarters for Home Depot. And I'm going over there, head directly to corporate because I feel you do not have my best interests in mind, so on and so forth. You can pause it to read it. So at the bottom, two reviews on channel says, I did tell them that and they didn't care. And this is what I responded to two reviews on. I said, there are some decent employees there, but some of the employees at the Home Depot really do not care. I worked in one particular Home Depot. Yes, I worked for Home Depot and for Lowe's. So I said I worked for one particular Home Depot where a female cashier at the time told a female customer where they could put their mouth. Because this whole damn Home Depot, this Cropsey Home Depot right in Brooklyn, they had a whole clique from the goddamn store manager that ran the store all the way down to human resources, the front end supervisors and all of that. You know what, the alphabet clique. I'm not playing. I was there. Okay? They have this thing where they didn't, if you was straight, you could forget it. Unless you fully supported that, you could forget. I'm not lying. I've been places like this. Never told anybody. So, see, I gotta excuse me because they're doing some kind of fireworks out here. So, the next thing right here is that I had another fellow employee tell me about how her friend, who was a front end manager of the cashiers, and how they don't like men as a way of justifying why that front end manager was rude to me. Because you see, they had their front end manager for the cashiers, and sometimes I would speak to them, like on, like I would be coming to the front, either leaving or just coming in. I would speak to them, and they just seemed like they didn't really want to talk. So, after this happening a couple of times, I happened to be sitting outside on a break, and they had a couple of people sitting out there, and one of them that was sitting out there at the benches was a female. And so I don't know how they got to talking about them, and I said, well, you know them. I said, can I ask you something? Why do they act like that? Like when I go to talk to them or say something, and it's like they very short, very that kind of rude, like they don't want to be bothered, and we're supposed to be fellow employees. And this stupid woman come out and said, oh, that's because she don't like men. And I'm thinking, I mean, bro, you see, when you work somewhere, you can't come out and say certain things. But if I was how I am now, I would have came out and said anyway, because I didn't fucking need that job for no goddamn money. That part-time $9 an hour joke. I had it just for something to do. So, I should have came out and said, but I damn sure was thinking, I should have been like, wait a minute, you saying the reason why they act like that because they don't like men. So why do they work in a place that men built, and then men coming in and out as customers or to fix things, and other male employees that do work? Why don't you fucking stay home if it's that serious? But that's what her so-called friend said. So I said, well, then maybe they shouldn't be working here then, because that's rude. So of course, later on that day, the person that she's talking about come and approach me and say, oh, why are you talking to my friend about me? I said, no, your friend started it first and then had the nerve to tell me about your sexual preferences. Like I give a damn. And the funny thing is, she was a supervisor, but she wasn't my supervisor. So she's like, well, you don't have to. I said, no, your friend shouldn't have been telling me about that. That's none of my business, and I don't give a shit about what you like to sleep with. I have nothing to do with your job and how you treat fellow employees and customers. And they's like, oh, do you want to go in the manager's office? I said, yes, I do. So then the funny thing is, the person that hired me, another manager, a guy, after we finished talking, and it didn't turn out to be nothing because it wasn't going to be shit. After she leaves and everybody else leaves, the man that hired me asked me, well, you don't think she's attractive? I said, no, I don't. I said, first of all, they're not my type. I said, two, they're rude as hell. Because what it was is that they had a clique. Is that all of these lesbians and stuff be always complimenting and flirting with each other in the break room and throughout the floor. And the guys is just co-signing it. So if you wasn't down with that bullshit, they didn't like you. So I ended up quitting the place. So it goes to show that people, some places have some decent employees, and some places have some fucked up employees. And this is just like a small part of a way bigger story having to do with these goddamn retail stores, man. I worked at quite a few when I was younger. I got some stories. For instance, another one that I wasn't even working at, a Staples, about 25th Avenue in Brooklyn, when it seemed like they had gotten new management at that Staples. I walked past an employee area. It's like where they stock and stuff. It's like the stock room, but only employees supposed to go back there. But these two black doors was open as I was walking past them to the office section. I walk past these two doors and I hear a female worker tell another female worker to eat her pussy, joking. You don't do that around customers. You shouldn't be doing that on the job at all. So yes, especially, I don't know about other places, but I know in Brooklyn, going back as far as like a little over 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago when it started, they have clicks at these stores. Okay? It was the same thing at Pathmark across the street from Home Depot. It was the same thing. I was told literally by a female employee that the manager expects everyone to kiss their ass. Now, they wasn't saying it as a rant. They were saying it to give me a hint that if I didn't kiss ass for that fucking part-time 2 to 3 hours per night, late night, to go on top of the Home Depot, that if I didn't kiss ass, that I would kiss my job goodbye. And I just kissed it goodbye. Fuck the both of them. Fuck the damn Home Depot, fuck the Lowe's, and fuck the Pathmark. Places that tell you straight up, oh, you want to change in your hours, we don't bend for nobody. Who the fuck is you to talk about you don't bend for nobody, these stupid ass places, when they only was given part-time? And like I said, the time that I worked these jobs wasn't for the money. It was just to have at least close to a part-time or full-time shift, just to have something to do. And they would do people like that. You want me to talk about Staples and how I was busting my ass cleaning and organizing and all the dust and fixing their area that all the employees was too lazy to clean? And when one of the fellow employees, when I asked them, could they, did they mind helping me, this bitch said, no, I'm good. And the manager lollygagging with them the whole time while I'm busting my ass, and they laid me off without even telling me, even though I did the best I could there and purposely didn't train me to do the job better as far as the print shop, just so that they could have a reason to lay me off, and made it so that I couldn't work there again permanently, and I didn't do anything. Like, what the fuck? These retail places are garbage, a lot of them. And it's not the customers. People be like, oh, the customers. Trust me, you don't have to worry about the customers. It's the management. It's the management. You better trust and believe it. They are horrible in these places. They are horrible. The way Staples did me was, it seemed like the jobs that would treat me the worst would be the ones that I would put up with and stick out the most. And the more that you stick it out and try to, like, deal with their bullshit and be nice to them, is the worse they do you. I've heard other stories from other employees that got the same shit. Lowe's was one of them. CVS was another one. But I ain't gonna talk. That's for another video that I'm gonna upload later, about working for CVS through the holidays for 2 months straight and then get paid a dime through that whole 2 months and got fired twice. One of them was on New Year's Eve. All for a store that I had to work 12 hours only a week and worked at 3 stores, split up 4 hours each per week. There was a reason why I put up with some of this shit. It didn't have to do with money. It was something else that I might get into at a later time. But yeah, these retail shops are just retail. Oh shit, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's got some very, 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 very wild, interesting stories about retail. Yep. So go watch this video though. If any of y'all get like work done, like for your kitchen or your bathroom, and you're thinking about hiring contractors, or you're thinking about going to these stores and hiring Home Depot to consult about a kitchen design or a bath, he's gonna tell you why you probably should avoid that. But yeah, I just wanted to read out those comments. Those comments remind me of some shit from a while back that I said I was gonna talk about one day. So, those are the tidbits of each, and some of this stuff we'll go into more detail about it. I will do that later on in my Useless People series, because they really do fit under that. These fucking fuck ups, these useless people that what they'll do, they useless, but if they see you trying to do right and trying to like make stuff work, or you have an idea of a way to improve something, they try to come and put a monkey wrench and spite you and do some spiteful shit on you, because they're useless, they're stupid, they're worthless, and they have no business working at a store or being a supervisor of anything. I'm gonna just leave that rant at that for now.